YouTube, this is Regina, also known as Diva G. I'm here with my darling Sweet Serenity. She is so precious. Oh, she's such a sweet sleeping little baby. We went out today. I had an appointment for a physical and I took her with me. And they were just so amazed at how lovely she is. She's just absolutely beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. Well, since we're home now, I think I'll go ahead and take off her little sweater. It was quite warm today. The temperature went up to maybe, I don't know, like in the 50s. You still felt just a slight chill, but it was still very nice and warm, finally. So I have this little sweater that I purchased a while ago, waiting for Serenity to come home, and so now she has it on, and she's just so sweet. She is just so very, very sweet, and I love her so much. Okay, let's see. She's so sleepy. I don't know if she's gonna wake up for this video. She may not. So let's see. See if we can get her out of her little sweater. Okay. So, what our dear Sweet Serenity Rose has on today is she has on this cute little romper set. Okay. From Child of Mine. It's pink and white. And it has a little bow. And it has little doggies or something on it, and she has on these cute little white lace socks with the ruffles, and these satin pretty pink, pale pink satin shoes that have a cute little bow on them. And she has on her bracelet from Kymberlee, and she has on another bracelet that I purchased for her while I was waiting for her to come home. And she has on her lovely necklace. This is from Kymberlee, who is the artist, Kymberlee of Kymberlee's Cocoon. This is a beautiful, lovely cross. It's from Africa, from Ethiopia. And it has a very significant meaning. Children in Africa, when they're born, they get this cross, a cross like this, and it's made of wood. And what happens is, as they get older, they keep the cross on, and when they become, I believe it's adult, they then exchange it for a similar one, but that is larger. And it is a beautiful custom. So, yes. And I just love my darling baby. Her hair is just so beautiful. Her hair is so pretty. It's all over her head though, because she gets hat hair just so easily. But she's so sweet. This is just a little bit of plain water, and I'll see what I can do to kind of zhuzh up her curls a little bit. It was so funny. The nurses and the doctor, this was a different doctor that I went to today, and they had never seen Serenity. Well, you know, she's new, so not many people have seen her just yet, but trust me, many more will get to see her, because everywhere I go, my darling Sweet Serenity will be going. And it was so funny. They were in so much awe of Serenity till my appointment took much longer than it should have, simply because they were so in love with her. And they said, "Oh, she looks just like you. She really looks like you." And of course, we happen to be dressed alike. We both have on pink. And she does look like me. She does. And her hair color is actually the color of my hair naturally, which is a kind of a dark sandy brown. But I do dye my hair professionally, and that's why you see some blonde to it. But Serenity, she does look so much like me, which is one of the things that I love so much about her. As I mentioned in another video, that she looks like my paternal grandmother, who unfortunately I never had the pleasure of meeting because she passed away when my dad was 16 and I wasn't even thought of being born at that point. Um, but my dad has pictures of his mom, and this is one of the pictures that he has of his mother, which is my grandmother. And this is a picture of her. She was a beautiful, beautiful woman. Okay. And when I see Serenity, to me, Serenity favors her so much, which is one of the reasons that I wanted Serenity. Because when I saw Serenity, I just said, oh my gosh, she looks like my grandmother. And that's why in the previous videos, I said that she looks like part of the family, you know, my dad's side. And so this is one of the reasons that when I saw Serenity, I felt that she looked very much like, you know, my grandmother. My grandmother was a beautiful woman. Her name was Geneva. And didn't get to meet her ever, but when I look at Serenity, I kind of feel as though, you know, I do see a family resemblance, believe it or not. Although she was, her sculptor is Lauralee Eagle, and she was reborn and brought to life by Kymberlee of Kymberlee's Cocoon. But when I look at her, oh my gosh, I just see my grandmother. And, you know, so it makes her very, very, very special to me. She was definitely worth the wait. I had her on layaway a couple of months, a few months. And, you know, initially I wanted her to come home for my birthday, which is in June. And I was going to keep her, let Kymberlee keep her, you know, that amount of time. But I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. So I said to Kymberlee, I said, I don't know, maybe I'll have her come home maybe early March or the middle of March. And I told her, I said, my maternal grandmother's birthday is March the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. And I thought it might be nice for her to come home on St. Patrick's Day, which would have been my maternal grandmother's birthday. But then I said, well, I don't know. Let's just see if we can get her home maybe a day before, just in case of anything. Well, Kymberlee mailed her out on the Monday. I guess that was the 13th. And everything said that she should be home by the Wednesday, the 15th. So we were so excited that I was so excited. I said, oh my goodness, my baby's going to come home. My baby's going to come home. And then we had a snowstorm here in New York. And it was snow and ice and what have you. And, you know, then it said that, you know, it kept saying that she was on her way, you know, that she had been mailed out. And, you know, we could see that as far as the tracking. But then when Wednesday, you know, we had the snow on Monday night going into Tuesday. So the post office was closed on Tuesday because of the weather. Okay, so we figured, you know, okay, she won't come on Wednesday, she'll come on Thursday. Well, the tracking kept saying that she was going to come on Wednesday. That's what it kept saying. And then Wednesday came and went, and I didn't get a delivery. You know, I got my regular mail, I got other things in the mail, other packages that I had ordered, other things I ordered, but I did not get my darling baby. And there was no movement as far as we could see on tracking. And it was just like, oh my gosh. So Kymberlee and I, we were going back and forth like, well, where is she? What could be this? What could be that? You know, we double checked, you know, that she had mailed it to the correct address. I said, yes, that's the address, what have you. And we just kept looking. So I called the post office, and they couldn't see anything more than what we could see. So I was like, oh my goodness. Then the next thing you know, it said something on Thursday or something delivery forwarded. And, what does that mean? So I called the post office and what have you, and they didn't quite know what that meant because they couldn't see anything. The only thing they said was she had not arrived, the package had not arrived at the airport, evidently. So they didn't get any package from me. So I said, oh goodness, wow. So I'm thinking, so now it's Friday and I'm on pins and needles. Where is my baby? Where's my baby? I'm on pins and needles. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, where is she? What's happened to her? Oh my gosh, am I going to get her? Is everything going to be intact? And, then I kind of started getting, very, very, kind of anxious. I was saying, oh gosh, when she comes, I don't know how I'm going to feel when she gets here because it's just so emotional with her being lost and not knowing where she is. So on the Friday, I decided to put in a claim with the post office to maybe put some fire under them to find her. And interestingly enough, the next day, it was like she was at a different post office, but she was here in my state, okay? And I said, okay, but it wasn't the post office that she should have arrived at. But at least we could see that she was in New York. And so that was something that was good. So she was at one post office, and then the next thing you know, Kymberlee said, oh, it's showing that she's so-and-so area. And I said, that's further away from me. She says, oh my gosh, I thought she was getting closer. Now she's going further away. And I said, well, I don't know. At least she's here. At least she's here in New York. So we're just kind of going back and forth and praying like, oh God, oh God, oh God, please let her be okay. Where is she? Where is my baby? And I was like, oh my goodness. So I kind of, I was nesting, but then I was anxious. And, you're always kind of, when you have a doll, that's coming, you're excited, you're excited, you're nesting, you're doing this and you're doing that. And then even if it's a day late, you're okay with that. But at one point, we didn't know where she was. We did not know where she was. And I was like, oh my God, where is my baby? And, the box is marked fragile and so forth. And then I told Kymberlee, I say, something, if I ever get another reborn, I'm just going to have the doll overnight mail. I said, I can't take it. This is just too much. I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So I was just waiting. And then the Monday came. And, so the weather was okay, okay. And I had to go out. So I went out. And of course, I go out. And then the tracking says that she's out for delivery. And, of course, someone had to receive her. A signature was required. So I'm like, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. So when I got home, I saw this box. And the box was perfectly intact. I was so excited. I took pictures of the box, front, back, top, upside down, everything. And I sent them to Kymberlee and I said, she's here and the box is intact. So she's okay. So we were both just so happy about that. And my best friend, I was like, oh my gosh, she was, anxious with me. And she says, oh, when she comes, you'll be so happy. And I said, I don't know. This is so much. It's too much on me to have her lost somewhere in the mail and everything. And where is she? Is she okay? And, I was worried about her with the weather. And, even though I know Kymberlee, packs the boxes and everything really, really well, but I was concerned, obviously, so, and I began to, when I opened the box and I could see everything was intact, a sigh of relief came, and I couldn't, I was so anxious. I wanted to open the box. I didn't want to open the box. I wanted to open the box. I didn't want to open the box. I wanted to see. I didn't want to see. I just did not know. I mean, the she was here, okay, and I was here with her for probably about 3 hours, and I just was looking at the closed box. And my best friend Latanya, she says, "Are you gonna open the box?" She's on the phone talking. Are you gonna open her? I want to see her. I said, "I don't know. I don't know." She's like, "Open the box and see her." And I said, "I don't know. I'm so nervous and everything." So I go ahead and I began the box opening. And oh my goodness. Oh, I was so, so, so happy. I mean, there was so much joy and happiness as I began to open all of the presents, the clothes, the instructions, the poems, the book, everything as I began to open it. And then I opened the belly plate and I looked at it, and it was absolutely beautiful. And when I got down to opening Serenity Rose, it was so very, very, very touching. I wanted to, hold on to that moment forever, because that moment in time would absolutely never ever come again. I mean, we do know that once time is gone, it doesn't come back like that again, what have you. But I knew that she would be my absolute first reborn. And that moment, I wanted to really, truly just savor. I wanted to savor that moment in time. And I did. I did. I slowly opened the blanket and unwrapped her. I started, yes, 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 feet first, breech birth. I started feet first. And I just worked my way up, and I looked at her beautiful, beautiful artistry, the loving touch that Kymberlee just placed, the paint, everything on her just was so absolutely beautiful. I was in absolute awe of her. I just looked. I couldn't imagine. She was the first reborn that I actually saw in person, or that I knew was a reborn that I saw in person. Now, of course, I have Ebony, and Ebony is my forever baby. She's my Ashton Drake. And, I mean, I love her dearly. She's an Ashton Drake. She's not a reborn. And we know that there is a difference. I do love Ebony very much. However, Serenity Rose is my first reborn. And this beautiful baby, this beautiful, beautiful baby, just makes me think of my paternal grandmother when I see her. And it just overwhelms me when I look at her, and I think about her and what my grandmother would have been like to know her. My dad talks about her occasionally, but not that much, because she died young, and it hurt him very much. And, you know, so he doesn't talk about her that much. But, you know, we do have pictures of her, and, so when I seen Serenity Rose, I felt like she was meant to be mine. And gosh, she just nestles, just so cozy, just so sweet. Absolutely so sweet. So sweet. So sweet. It's so funny. Years and years and years ago, I heard about reborns. And the first time I really heard about them was when Beyonce was expecting Blue Ivy. And there was a rumor that, oh, she's not really pregnant and this and that. And then when Blue Ivy was born, they said that that's not a real baby, that's a reborn. And my bestie, Latanya, she told me, she said, look it up on YouTube, look and see what the reborns are. And I said, oh my gosh, that's so odd. You know, I'm like, why would they say that's a reborn? That's a, you know, she's had a real baby, you know. And I said, and these reborns, I said, oh my gosh. And then you seen there were some that, you know, of course you can get the heart where it beats, you know, and you know there's different things, different sounds, and there are different apps, you know, that you can put on your phone where, you know, it sounds like a baby laughing or crying or, you know, things like that. I do have those apps too, and it's fun sometimes, you know, you go out and you kind of have the doll making sounds like a baby, you know, especially like with Serenity Rose. I can have her making little cooing sounds or little, you know, sounds like when she's asleep, because of course I take her out in the infant carrier. Well, I have the travel system for her, and you know, so it's so much fun. I want to go back to when I was at the doctor's office. You know, they thought she was a real baby, you know, and then when I said, oh, you want to see her? She's a doll. And they said, yes, she's so beautiful. She's a doll. I said, no, she's really a doll. And I said, touch her. And, you know, they touched and said, oh my gosh. And then they said, she's beautiful. And they said, you buy all of these things for her, the stroller, the travel system, and everything. And, you know, I said, yeah. I said, it's fun. You know, it's fun. And I mentioned, you know, the YouTube channel, you know, the YouTube, how there's so many channels. And, you know, it was so interesting because the doctor, she then was telling me about her daughter has American Girl dolls, and how she would like to extend her daughter's childhood a little bit longer. And she started asking a lot of questions about, you know, reborns. So I mentioned to her, you know, I went into a discussion with her about reborns and different artists and, you know, lots of different things about, you know, them. And she held her and she just absolutely could not believe how she felt. And, you know, it's just so amazing, you know. When I hold her, look how she just kind of falls, just like a baby, you know, and you nestle her. And she's just so cuddly, just ever so sweet. And, you know, you just look at her and you can't help but love her. You can't help it. You just have to love her. She's just so sweet. That's why I call her my Sweet Serenity Rose. And Rose was my cousin's name on my father's side. And we were very, very close. And she too died early. She died in her 20s. So Rose, that's part of where Serenity Rose gets her name. And on my mother's side, my godmother, who named me, her name was Rosa. And so when I think of, so I kind of feel like, Serenity Rose has a little bit of, my dad's side, my mom's side, and she's just so, 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 so sweet. And I love her, and I've been, purchasing different things for her. I love the things that Kymberlee sent with her, and I have different things for her as well. And she's just so sweet, and I do love her so very, very much. And you know, um, I just look at her and just pick her up and hold her and just nestle and have her nestle with me. And she's just ever so sweet. Just so, 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 so sweet. My sweet Serenity Rose. And I do understand why. The instructions say handle your dog as though it was a real baby because she's an investment, and she is. She's a wonderful, wonderful investment. And I can't put a price tag on, you know, the, the love that you actually feel. And I know it's a hobby that we share, and um, but it's you can't put a price tag on, you know, um, the artistry that these artists, the sculptors, and the artists that paint them, root their hair, and just all of these things. It's just you can't, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, just beautiful. I mean, oh my gosh, just absolutely beautiful. I just, and I know for some people they think it's an odd hobby, but any hobby can be considered odd if it's not something that you like, if it doesn't pique your interest, you know. But I do love my darling Sweet Serenity Rose, and I do have you know, real children. I'm a mother of twins, twin sons. They're adults, and I'm not yet a grandmother. Um, but Serenity Rose is, she's my forever baby. Also, it's so funny when I was carrying my sons. Back then, they didn't have as many sonograms and different things like that. And finding out the sex of the babies was not something that I wanted to do. Interestingly enough, every sonogram that I had, my sons, they turned their bodies in a way in which you could not see what sex they were. And I just kept telling everyone that I was having sons. And they said, "Oh, well, you don't know. You don't know if you're going to have sons." I remember my sister-in-law said, "No, don't get your hopes up. You may not have sons. What if you have a girl and a boy? What if you have two girls, and everything?" And I said, "No, I'm having sons." I was just so determined to have sons. And I was blessed to give birth to a set of twin boys. Thank God they were healthy and happy. And even today, they're still the apple of my eye. Um, and I think that might be one of the reasons that I enjoy having the little girl babies, because I wanted sons so desperately, and I was fortunate enough to be blessed to have them, and to love them and to raise them, and we did. It just was wonderful, having them growing up, and what have you. And even now, as adults, I'm godly proud of them and love them dearly. Um, just having Serenity Rose now is so amazing, to have her a little girl in the family. And you know, my sons, sometimes they look at her and they just kind of look sideways at her and go, Say she looks real, right? You want to touch her? No, that's okay. No, that's okay. That's okay. But she's a darling. She's a darling, darling baby, and I do love her dearly. I do love her dearly. Well, I just wanted to share a little bit of time with you so you could see my darling Serenity Rose and just a little catch up of the story of her coming to New York and what that was like and just the emotions that I felt and how dearly I do love her. Well, you too, you'll be seeing some more of us. Blessings to all. Take care.